The question we have today is, why use our intuition? What benefit do we gain from using our intuition in everyday life? And from my perspective, there's so much that we gain from using our intuition. Fundamentally, it helps us to have more understanding, more clarity, more choice, inspiration, creativity, time, and a sense of peace of, yes, this is the right choice in this moment. Or yes, this does feel true for me in this moment, this conversation or this fact or this situation. And this relaxation, this peace, reduces our stress, our anxiety, our monkey mind worrying about this or that. And the more we practice our intuition, the more that we are familiar with it, the more that we have a recognition of, that's my intuition there, and that's my rational mind, and I can hear that and I can appreciate the information. And then, that's my intuition. It's got a different feeling to it. And for many of us, it is a sensation or a feeling. And as we become more practiced, it's in some ways automatic. It becomes an equal piece of decision making as our rational mind bringing in content of facts or understandings. Our intuition brings in another perspective, things that perhaps our rational mind can't possibly know. For example, it might be a decision upcoming about a practical matter or a personal matter, and your rational mind says, well, you've got to decide like this, and you have this information, and you should do this and this. And perhaps your intuition says, wait, because actually there's not enough information. There's something still going to happen that hasn't occurred yet that will change all of that rational perception. And if we have the courage to listen to our intuition, maybe it's some days, maybe it's some weeks, some cases it might even be years, and we are relaxed in that, our stress reduces, our busyness of our mind going, I should be doing something, I need to, did I make the right choice, is this really okay, maybe I should change my mind. And I think we all have those roundabout occasions, especially around decision making, where we question ourselves. And to me, this is the gift of intuition when we are more familiar and more practiced, that it gives us a really significant empowerment, access to our own inner wisdom, trust in ourselves to say, no, this is the choice I'm going to make in this moment because it feels right. This is what my rational mind says, this is what my intuition says, and this is the decision that I choose here. And in repetition, when we become more familiar with using our intuition in everyday life, it gives us another foundation, another base of strength, of clarity. And as a consequence, this relaxation, this more peaceful part, allows inspiration, creativity, innovation to naturally rise up. It also can allow much more lighter, playful, enjoyable part of ourselves to be present, because we're not so stressed, we're not so anxious, we're in more balance with the whole of who we are. And we all have intuition. This is not something that is a special gift for a few. It's fundamentally an innate, natural part of who we are. Every single one of us has that sense, feeling of, I shouldn't do this, or I should do this, or that's a bad idea, or no, he or she is not that trustworthy, or there's something not quite right about this situation. I think every single one of us can put a hand up and say, hey, I've had that experience. And when we're listening to that part of ourselves on an everyday basis, it's giving us another literally sense. So let's say when we walk into a room, we are using our eyes to see what is there. We're naturally using our ears to hear what might be there. We've got our sense of smell, where we might perceive something as well. And we might sort of feel maybe there's air moving on our skin, maybe there is warmth or cold. And all of these senses give us information about a person, a situation, a circumstance. And when we add in our intuition, it's a more of an unseen, untouchable sense, but it's there nevertheless. I'm sure most of you watching or listening have had that experience of walking into a room and you've walked in and you just sense or feel, something's not right here. It might be a heaviness or a tension in the air. Or the opposite, it might be uplifting and you suddenly feel more relaxed, more open. And that hasn't come just from our visual or hearing sensory part. It's come from this other perceptive part of us. And I want to say again, our intuition is natural. It's there. And the more we practice it, the more awake it becomes, the more touchable it is in terms of recognizing it, having our own personal understanding of that part of ourselves. So when it comes to making choices, we are literally gaining more information from this unseen perspective. Information that our mind may not be able to perceive or process under the normal senses, or even from historical senses. It may be information that doesn't make logical mental sense, yet nevertheless is a part of the circumstance and the situation. And when we give permission to say, yes, I'm including that part in my life, it gives us more trust in ourselves. It helps us to perceive our world around us more clearly. It helps us to understand ourselves more deeply. It helps us to have literally more time, more space. And when our mind is not occupied with worry, anxiety, second guessing our choices, because we have relaxed and allowed our intuition to be a part of the decision making, then it also gives this more relaxed time for ourselves. Because often we're using up a lot of time and energy worrying, stressing, being anxious. And when we're anxious and stressed, this impacts our decision making on a very fundamental biological level. If we are overstressed, then our stress hormones are going into our body, into our system, and more orientating us towards survival-based decision making. And it's quite a biological function. Stress, therefore, do something that's going to make us safe, secure, tension again, and we're back into a cycle. When we're not in the stress because we've allowed ourselves to receive and listen to our intuition, it actually helps us to have a wider perception. It's as if we've taken away those stress hormones. Our ability to perceive gets wider, which enables us to make a better choice or a better communication or a better perception of what is happening or not happening. And to me, this is a wonderful gift to give ourselves. And it's available for each one of us all the time. It's more a practice of remembering to say, okay, that's what I'm thinking and what I feel from my past experiences I should or shouldn't do here. And if I relax and just get another sense, what's my intuition also saying here? This can give more clarity. And leaves you with more time, more space to enjoy your life, your relationships, to feel more secure in your everyday life. So why use your intuition? Because it's a gift that empowers and a gift that keeps on giving. Because the more clear that you see, the more relaxed that you are, the more joy that you feel, the more that you see, and the spiral goes on in a positive way. It helps you to be more naturally in, we could say, the flow of life, the flow of your life, where the synchronicity, where the magic can happen. And that's why sometimes intuition has been, in the past and historically, perceived as being a bit magical, a bit spiritual. Because in a way it is. It allows us to be in a delightful flow. And even through difficult and stressful and crisis situations, it helps us to navigate with the most ease, with the least stress. So indeed, yes, there's lots of really good reasons to use your intuition in everyday life.